The Red Sox need to go out in the offseason and get starters. Guys that are capable guys that have played in the league for a while or young studs. I'm so fed up with this pitching and this bullpen and treating it like we're a low market team. We have millions of dollars. I don't know if I want to say billions, but you have millions of dollars in that
Well, they're worth billions of dollars.
Yeah. And you're telling me we can't afford to go get a starting pitcher?
The thing is, I understand what if they said, look, because of Rona and everything else, we're going to take this season easy. And then next season,
but
we're going to spend the money.
You don't have that benefit of when you're the Red Sox. You can't say that as the Boston Red Sox. There's some teams you can say that as, and there's some teams you can't.
Why not?
Because the culture.
But it's a smarter move.
The culture of the Boston Red Sox, you can't get away. It's like the Patriots saying, Bill Belichick coming out and saying, you know what, guys? We're going to tank this year. We're going to get some good draft picks. We're going to take it easy. We're going to shut everyone down. There would be anarchy.
Am I the one that would support him?
There would be absolute anarchy.
And you know what the funny thing is? He would probably still be right. Because every time I've questioned Bill Belichick, 90% of the time he's been right.
True, but I've questioned Ron Renicky a bunch of times, and so far he's 1-3. So and he has he sat Bogarts. Was Bogarts in the lineup for that game?
Tonight?
Yeah. He was in the lineup? Okay. I don't remember. I didn't remember reading his name. Okay.
But I think
I was going to say, if they took Bogarts in, he's rested 2 out of the first 4 games. It's absolutely appalling.
But the way these sports
the game even happens.
If the game even happens, yeah.
But the way these sports go, you cannot expect to be a top team every single year. Now, I know in baseball it's different.
No, not baseball. In Boston, it's different.
Well,
in Boston, you cannot be. Even the Celtics teams that you knew had no chance to win the title. They were competitive teams. You have to put a competitive product on the field to at least have that thought like, oh, we're going to make a playoff push. Everyone has the goal of winning the World Series or winning the championship.
Yeah.
That's not common. But if you don't make the playoffs in Boston, look at Bobby Valentine was terrible, but he missed the playoffs, had a terrible year. He was out after 1 year. Usually managers get a year to figure it out.
You get like 3 years.
Out.
You know?
John Farrell had the best, won the division, I think, 3 out of 4 years, won the World Series, missed it 1 year, was cut. Everyone hated him because he didn't win a World Series. He won the division 3 years and won a World Series, and he was cut.
I appreciate holding people to a high standard when you know you can do it, but the point with sports now is because of the cost and because of really talking about the top tier of players trying to get them, the cost of doing that and also the training and everything, you cannot expect every year to make it to postseason.
Oh, it's unrealistic, but I'm just saying, if you're in Boston, let me tell you something. If you went to like Oakland and played in the athletics organization, making the playoffs is seen as a success.
Yeah, as it should be.
If you make it to the wild card game and get bounced as the Red Sox, maybe not this year. I think this year they would say like, all right, they're at least realistic. But if you don't have a competitive product out there, your manager's getting fired, your GM's getting fired. I'm already on the get John Henry out of bandwagon because he's been nothing but he is single-handedly ruining this team. I think being in Boston, you have to be a competitive team. Maybe not make the playoffs because the Red Sox didn't make the playoffs, and I mean we had a lot of bad blood last year. But you have to be competitive, and the Red Sox are not competitive with this pitching lineup.
No,
they're not. And they have a guy called Brian Johnson, who's a veteran guy that they decided not to have on the active roster, which is absolutely appalling because you have a bunch of guys that are terrible pitching for your game. He can start. He can get 5 innings out, giving up maybe a run or 2.
Yeah,
that's what I would expect for him to do. Maybe a couple clunkers here and there, a couple gems here and there. But he is a guy that's done it before, and the fact that he is not there proves that this team is just flawed. They have no pitching.